It's just an experiment. So I did an experiment. I did seven installments of a story where I interrogated the watch addiction, enslavement to watches, in a series called Exit Watch. It was okay. The interest level was pretty high. I actually thought I was going to do worse. So since my expectations were low, it did okay. It was about the lot of us. We're all prisoners to the watch addiction. And I have a question for you guys. Have you ever asked yourself, yeah, I'm a watch nut. Yeah, I'm a watch obsessive. Yeah, I'm always looking at watches. This is a Citizen ProMaster green GPS. It's a rebuy that I'll talk about in a second. Have you ever asked yourself, I wonder what my watch obsession would be like if I was off the grid, if there was no social media, if there was no internet? Would I still be in the same boat? I mean, clearly we wouldn't, only because social media clearly affects us. This is how we connect with one another in a lot of ways. Someone just asked me on social media, are you getting any hot spots with the SLA 073 bracelet on the SLA 055? And I said no, but I said to the gentleman, I think eventually I'll take the bracelet off and put it on straps. I don't know why, but I feel more connected to straps. I'm such a slave to these fake dilemmas. So what I want to talk about was Watch Prisoner. I think that'll be the title of this. That'll be the title of this this video essay. Kind of improvisational. I thought I would try it as an improvisation rather than sitting down and writing a thesis and poring over the exposition. My wife said something to me the other day. She goes, people don't write essays anymore. She and I both grade essays for a living. She's an English teacher, 7th grade, 6th grade. And she says, people don't even write essays anymore. It's not even relevant. I don't even know why we're doing this. She was fed up. She was grading like her 500 paper over the weekend. But so I wonder if there's a sort of normalization of watch addiction, of being a watch prisoner. And it was sort of prophesied. There was a 1976 movie called Network, where a news reporter, a newsman, Howard Beale, becomes this mad prophet. I'm mad as hell and I'm not going to take it anymore. And the ratings of the news station spike because his outrage becomes a commodity and the ratings go up. And then, maybe it was just an act in the beginning, and then he starts to believe in it. He starts to drink his own Kool-Aid, and it becomes his whole world. He becomes a prisoner of that world. I wonder, as watch addicts, if there's a certain amount of self-commodification. I ask that. And it sort of feeds on itself. It becomes a sort of self-feeding loop where as we share here on social media, it doesn't even matter if you're making YouTube videos or not. You could just be sharing with people. You could be direct messaging people or commenting on various social media platforms. It becomes part of an ongoing conversation. It becomes part of an ongoing chatter. It becomes part of the chatter in your brain. And then when that becomes so alacritous and consuming, you can't stand back and look at the forest instead of being too close to the trees. You know that metaphor. And I guess that's what I've interrogated a lot on this YouTube channel. Frankly, I'm kind of bored with doing watch reviews. I won't lie to you guys. And there's a lot of you guys who are doing a good job of that. And congratulations to you. I'll look at some good watch reviews. But I don't think that's not your lane, McMahon. I mean, I can't do that. I'm not going to even fake the passion to do a watch review. I mean, I can say I like this watch a lot. I don't have any flaws with it. It's comfortable. It's titanium. This is my Arnold watch. An Arnold watch. Of course, the official Arnold watch is the Seiko Arnie. But I think any big, bold superhero flexor watch is an Arnold watch. I only dislike one thing about this watch. It's my 6th watch. It's watch number 6. And I have to be honest with you guys, I loved having 5. I loved having 5 watches, and I thought, man, 5 watches, I should just quit, shut down the YouTube channel, and I can't go on and I can't go on anymore. I mean, for me, you know, the watch hobby is about being happy. And as I said in my short story, Exit Watch, the desire to accumulate watches, and I love watches. God, I would love to rent, you know, the G-Shock Frogman. I would love to get one of those $2,500 Citizen AQ series. I would love to walk around with a Tudor Black Bay, you know, one of the new ones. I would love to have one of those. I'd love to rent a Panerai Luminor. There's a lot of watches I would like to rent just to see how it goes. But honestly, I could honestly just imagine myself with my Seiko Wimera on a strap, and that would be my everyday watch. And if I really wanted to have a beater, I could just wear my Seiko SPB 143. Just have 2 watches. In other words, my appetite to accumulate lots of watches exists with my appetite to be happy, and these 2 appetites are in conflict. I wonder about that a lot. So Howard Beale becomes a prisoner to this sort of performative outrage, and he gets ratings, he gets attention, he feels relevant. And you know what, man? We're tribalistic human beings, man. We do want a sense of belonging and a sense of relevance. And if we're making YouTube videos about our watch addiction, our watch passion, and we're feeling relevant from that, then sure, it would feed the addiction and the craziness. And that's something that fascinates me, and it disturbs me too. That was 1976, the movie Network. It really did have prophetic qualities. It was a prophecy of performative outrage and performance just to get attention and external validation. Then this movie comes out about 22 years later, 1998, The Truman Show. Truman Show is amazing because now we normalize surveillance and the idea of being a voyeur. And this too encourages us to share everything on social media and to behave in ways that we're curating a persona to achieve validation and relevance and belonging, and we want to be part of the conversation. And I don't know if that drive and the drive to be happy are in conflict with one another. If we lose a certain amount of freedom and autonomy when we seek relevance through the self-curation of a certain persona on social media, or even curating a watch addiction, I wonder about that. If we lose a certain amount of autonomy, you're a human being and you're intelligent. You guys are smart. You guys know that we question the relationship between these various social media platforms with our watch passion, addiction, enslavement. I don't know. And for me, the ultimate salient example is someone who lost his mind, he lost his freedom, he lost his perspective by leveraging a persona on social media, you know, the great flex, and he just ascended, and then he fell. Is the Liver King? I mean, what a flex! What a flex! I mean, he used. Oh my goodness, what was he doing? He's spending what, $180K a year on PEDs, claiming to be natural, claiming to be part of ancestral living. He created this persona of ancestral living. I mean, he was eating raw. Well, he still does, I guess. You know, eating raw organs on TV. It's such an extreme place, man. You're so encouraged by social media to be so extreme. What's funny is, you know, my collection's not extreme right now. I mean, 6 watches is not extreme. Though I consider myself to have a rather extreme personality in a lot of ways. I suspect all my watches will be on straps. There's just one more watch to be conquered. Every time I look at that SLA 055 on the bracelet, I think, ooh, I better just keep it on there. I'll just have one watch on a bracelet. But then when I put it on, I don't feel that connected to it on the bracelet. I don't know. And then putting a strap on it doesn't cure me, because then I'm doing like 25,000 strap changes on it. What does this strap? I don't know. It's just nuts. Completely nuts. I like to just take a breather from that stuff. So I do see a line between the movie Network, the movie The Truman Show, and The Rise and Fall of the Liver King. The sort of self-curation of a persona that takes over who we really are at our core. And then you become addicted to that performance and that validation. You know, my wife and I, for the third time, we're watching one of our favorite shows of all time, The Larry Sanders Show. And the three principals, Artie, Hank, and of course Larry, their true love in life is the TV show. And the TV show is sort of this narcissistic mirror. And they're just so broken, and they just can't get enough. And then they're in conflict with the bureaucracy. You know, corporate's always telling you, you got to do this, you got to have a desk, you can't have a desk, you got to have this guest, you can't have that, you can't do this skit, you got to get the Midwest market share, blah blah blah. It's just such a great show about self-obsession. And you know, the watch addiction reminds me of self-obsession in a lot of ways. You know what's interesting about self-obsession? It's a full-time job, and it's burdensome. And I think we're happiest when we're laughing, when we're not taking ourselves seriously, when we escape self-obsession. And that's why I work out 6 days a week, 4 days kettlebells, and 2 days on the exercise bike, because it's free therapy. It's free therapy. Ladies and gentlemen, my question to you is, do you think your relationship with watches would be different if you didn't live on social media at all, or you're just on just a little bit less? And I mean, what's crazy is, do you think the misery and the torment of the watch obsession, the addiction, do you think that itself becomes an addiction, even though it creates misery, because there might be an abyss in the absence of that misery? And what kind of abyss would there be if we weren't always in this chatter, this social media chatter? And what if the chatter itself, which causes misery, becomes an addiction, and it creates a sense of relevance and belonging? All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is a great watch, but it's number 6. I kind of liked 5 better. You know the feeling. I know you do. I got to work out now. Until next time, I'm out.